Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Face to Face podcast. My name is Nicole Kamwendo, your host, and today I am joined by a woman whose story is truly, truly remarkable. Malawi has produced some of the most amazing women that we have ever seen on the continent, but her story in particular, how she transformed personal grief into just livelihoods for a whole community, I would dare say the country soon to be. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me is Marie De Silva, aka Abiti Marie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Maybe before we get into everything that you do, tell us about who Marie is before the Jacaranda School and everything. Just who is Marie?
Marie's me. The question, who's Marie? Yes, Marie was born here. I'm a Malawian. I was born here, Queen Elizabeth Hospital.
Okay.
You want my age?
No, ladies. Ladies never reveal our age. We don't.
1958. I'm 67 years old.
Oh,
yes.
no way.
Yes, I am.
Oh, wow.
So I was born here, Queen Elizabeth Hospital. My mother is from Nsanje.
Okay.
Yeah, Ifendia Sena from Nsanje. She's from the Porogen Chinteza family. She was born there at Fatima. And my father, the way that Silva comes from, is my father was from Mozambique. So he came as a very young man to Malawi, married my mother, and then had us 5 children. But really, on the whole, we were 10 children in my family.
Okay.
6 girls and 4 boys. I'm number 7.
Big family.
Big family, yes. My mother
big
had
family.
married twice. Her first husband with 5 children, second husband, Da Silva, with 5. I was born and raised here at the house today that is a school, the Jacaranda School.
Wow.
When I was born, 3 days later, I was taken into that house where today the Standard 1 is. The Standard 1 room was my bedroom.
Oh, wow.
So
Look at
that's
that.
the house that became, later on, became the Jacaranda School. And I studied at Our Lady, graduated from Our Lady, then went to commercial studies here, and then went to England, and then to America, and then back to Malawi. Yes.
So, what would you say, what values did you grow up with that shaped the way you live and the way you lead today? What was your childhood like?
I had a really great childhood. Traditional too, because my grandma coming from Nsanje and all, and then she lived by the Chigumura in our village with us. We were raised with the discipline and the morals of very cultural.
Okay.
Very traditional. Growing up, I grew up in a family that was just surrounded with a lot of love, some struggles. Coming from a big family, the parents have to make sure that every one of the kids has the equal attention, education, food, health, everything. So they worked very hard to provide for us. But one of the really most important thing for them was education. They emphasized on education for us, especially the girls. We were 6 girls. And my mother, having not gone to school, growing up in Sanje, I think she went to Standard 1 and then dropped out of school in Standard 1. She got married at a young age and had her first child when she was 15 years old.
Oh.
So for her, with her first marriage and then coming to the second marriage and really seeing the hardships of what she went through, she really encouraged us to stay in school. Girls, stay in school. I don't want you to be like me. I didn't study. Look at me now. It's a struggle. I want you all to be educated so that you can take care of yourselves. And, because of her first marriage that she, it didn't last. She was like, if ever you girls, your marriages don't last, at least you'll be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And then when you
that.
end,
That's such a rare thing to hear that a mother would say that.
yes,
Wow.
she was like, you will be able to stand on your own 2 feet and take care of your children. You don't have to rush into a marriage that you're going to go through another abuse and maybe be unhappy. I want you all to be educated. Educated, because she always used to look at it, so "Tani o nani." If I had, then I wouldn't, then it wouldn't be as difficult for me as it is. So education for her was very important. And when we go into my story and you see that she was the one who actually allowed me to take over this house that I was raised in, to turn it into a school, because she believed in education. But then she believed in girls' education too.
Wow.
And today at Jacaranda, you will see that there are more girls even there, and girls are doing well and are, because of just those lessons that we learned from home. But a lot, so when you say my childhood was really fun because I had my grandmother. We were all raised by this grandmother. Mom is working, dad is working, and grandma would sit at night, sit together with Jenny, roasting a sweet potato on the fire, telling stories. Padango kala tirido, and say she would tell us all the stories, the old stories, giving us the lessons in life too. You are young women, you mustn't do this, you must do. So for me, my lessons in my life that I treasure today, my traditions and my culture, comes from there back then, from my grandmother, from my mother. Those lessons that are what have shaped me today to be who I am.
It sounds like you had such an authentic African
Very
upbringing.
authentic,
And
very
so
very
warm.
authentic. Very warm, loving, warm, caring, just wanting the best for us, the children. She would sometimes, my mother would say, I'm doing all this for you people so that when I leave this earth, you people will be in a better place. So you see, our grandparents and our ancestors then, I think they did care. And until today, I work with a lot of grandparents. You do care about your children. When you leave this earth, what are you going to leave for your children, for your community? And that's how I feel until today. Because I was actually talking to the kids. I had a meeting with the staff members yesterday for certain issues we're going through. And I told them, I said, when I leave this earth, I want you all to be okay. I want you to continue this work. And my mom would say those words too. I want you to continue to be these good people, to continue to do what I feel is right for you, all of you. And that's the upbringing that I was raised with. Yeah.
It sounds truly beautiful, honestly. And one of the things about your story is how you've had different contrasts. Like you had the warmth, the beauty of it, and the close-knit family, and at the same time you had to deal with a lot of loss because of HIV and AIDS back in the day. Like it affected a lot of Malawian families, but I think for you it must have been extremely personal. How did that experience change the way you look at life?
When we had the AIDS pandemic in those years, when we didn't have the medication and we didn't
And the
have
exposure as well, the knowledge.
Yes, the awareness was not there. I was not here. I was in America then, and I was working as a nanny. And whilst there, I'm hearing that back home, this is the situation. My mother is telling me, my father is sick, my brothers are sick. I lost around 16 members of my family, immediate family, to AIDS. I was living in America, and really I felt helpless. The good thing is that when I heard my closest family was sick over here, and I was able to come and at least stay with my father for 2 weeks, and my brother who had passed, and I was able to be with them and see the situation at that time. At that time, at Queens, I was sleeping in the ward there for the 2 weeks. people were just crying. These days, you can go to Queens, you will hear people wailing and going to the mortuary to leave their loved ones. Koma, in those days, it was just one after the other, after the other. At night, you were sleeping, ngomfantu, crying and crying and crying. So it was, for me, being away, because I left here when I was about 17 years old to go to England, and from England, and then I went to America. I graduated college in England. Went to America because of certain circumstances. I took the nanny job. That was my only way of income, to be able to even support my family when they needed something. So being away and hearing what is going on at home, and especially when your family is affected, because I lost many members, my friends, my school friends that I went to. This was a time where people was just dying. You feel helpless. You feel, what can I do? There's nothing that I can do. I'm so far away. Of course, you can send a little money back home and whatever, but just, it was a pandemic.
Yeah.
It was a pandemic. And yeah, you feel helpless. So that's when, I heard that there was a school in my village that is closing. Most of the children in the school, the 50 kids, were orphaned by AIDS, and this is then, 2002. I hear that a school is closing. In the school is my niece and my nephews and all. But it wasn't only that, it was just these 50 kids would be out of school. So my mom tells me, I can't afford to be sending school fees for these children, which I used to do when I'm away, as most of us Malawians do.
Extended
People
family.
don't
Take care of our extended
realize,
family.
but most of us, when we are away, we are thinking of our families. And any little tambalas that we can have extra there, we are constantly sending home to take care of our families who are in need at home. And so when I heard this, I asked Mom, I said, Mom, what are now? They are out of school. It was in the Baptist church there by my village in Jemboma. They needed the premises back. So I said, Mom, why don't we just open one of the houses that I was raised in? And my mother was living in the next house next to it, but she was renting this house. I said, if you take off the renters there, bring these 50 children, I will pay you the rent money.
Okay.
Because, when my father passed, he didn't leave a pension or whatever.
So the rent was her way of surviving.
Her way of surviving.
Okay.
So I said, I will be reimbursing you that money. And she said, okay, that's fine. I always wonder until today, not even wonder, but I know why she said yes. Because she believed in education. Every one of us, out of the 10, we were educated.
Okay.
Everyone is educated, not even the ones who passed away, the ones who are alive are educated. She made sure, my father and mother made sure that we were educated. So she believed in education, and she let the kids come into that house in 2002. So from 2002, every month, Western Union, I was sending money to Mom to say, Mom, take care of the kids. Look after the kids. Make sure that you are paying Amatichara. In those days, it wasn't where I didn't have qualified teachers. They're just taking the T1 or whatever. Some teachers who had dropped out of school. But we kept the children. So the children were in my living room, in the dining room, in my parents' bedroom, in my bedroom. Until today, Standard 1 is in my bedroom. And Standard 2 is in my parents' bedroom. Standard 3 is in our living room. Hopefully we will be able to move that and expand. But that's how it started. You are away, you hear about the situation at home, and you feel, what can I do to help? And for me, that was what I could do at that. And it made me feel as if worthy of something, because knowing that this pandemic has touched me personally and touched so many of the people of Malawi, what is it that I can do to be able to help these children who will be left with nothing because they've lost their parents, will be left wandering about, no school, no nothing. What is it that I can do? I didn't realize. I didn't realize what I had started at that time
Yeah?
in 2002.
That's
I did
24
not.
years ago.
That's right.
Wow.
Didn't realize it was going to be the seeds and the fruit of Jacaranda, what we have today.
If your siblings and if your family members that passed on could see what their home has turned into now, how do you think they'd feel about the legacy that they inspired?
I do have my siblings who are alive, and some are like my sisters and all who are alive, and they are just really very happy and very proud. I feel that the spirit of, well, let's say, my father, my brothers, my nieces, my nephews, and all who passed and who are out there, I think that their spirit is around us. That's how I would describe it. How would they feel? I feel that the success, if I may say success, on what is going on at Jacaranda from 2002 until today, because it has been a journey. It hasn't been easy. It's not cheap. It's a lot of work. But how do these things happen? How? And I sometimes ask myself those questions. And it is just maybe their spirit are overlooking
Yeah, I like
at
that.
us, at the children who are there, because now we're 524
From 50.
orphans. Either both parents deceased or one parent living.
And those
Yeah,
are the
they're-
ones you have currently.
Currently,
And not overall over the past 24 years. If you were to count, you've educated
those
thousands.
others are the ones who've been to college and the alumni and all. I don't count those. These are what we have at present, because now we have a preschool, a primary, secondary, preschool, primary, secondary, the vocational school. But these are not inclusive of the vocational school.
Oh, wow.
So there are 524. They're free school, from
Okay.
preschool all the way to completion of college. And on Saturday, our first girl, Olivia, she graduated with her master's from Africa University in Zimbabwe.
Oh, wow.
And she arrived back yesterday. We had to send the car to pick her up yesterday, my daughter, with a master's. So, and she's one of the 524. We count her as a 524, I think. Yeah, because she was in college. And then we have another girl in Boston doing her master's, Katie. She was a young girl when she started school. So, yes, and I think this
What a legacy.
spirit of just all these parents of all these children and my family and all who've deceased is just shining upon us to, that's the way I...
That's such a beautiful way to look at it. That's so beautiful. Now, I'm actually curious. What were the early days like? Like you said, you didn't have qualified teachers. It was just you sending what you had from what you made as a nanny to your mom to look at. What were those early days looking like with the 50 children that you started with?
The early days, yes, the early days were just, I had so much of drive at that point. I'm feeling good about myself in America, and I am not complaining about my nanny job and this and this, because I'm looking, I'm, at the end of the day, I'm getting paid, I'm sending it home, the family is okay, kids are in school, but then the school is growing now. The school is growing, more and more children, more and more children.
Yeah.
I just kept sending the money home. My mom is alive, so I send it to my mom, and my mom puts it into the school. But then my mom passes.
Oh.
She passes away. And then I started having problems, because then I'm sending money to the head teachers, to whoever, and I'm continuously getting this messages that money is not enough, Kapena, the electricity's been turned off, Mazi is turned off, water has been turned off, the teachers is, so it was tough. After mom passed away, it was pretty tough. But I kept doing it. I mean, sending money, until then a friend of mine in 2007, a friend of mine, Luc Deschamps, who's my husband today, whom I had met actually a couple of years before in 1994 when I had come to visit my parents. I'd met him. He was working at the cultural center, French cultural center in those days here. And we met again in New York. after a couple of years, and he had met my whole family and everything. So when my mother passed and we're having these problems, we're like, why don't we just start a foundation? Just start something so we can raise money to be sending here. Because now the school had grown. The school was like 180 by then.
That's in just 5 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's grown. Then Luke comes to Malawi, and he sees what is going on in Malawi at the school, and he writes to CNN and tells CNN, I have a friend, Marie da Silva. Every month she's sending money back to Malawi to keep children in school. And this school is in her childhood home. By this time, actually, we were 280 children in the school. Wow. But somewhere in the garage, they were studying in the garage, in my bedroom, in the living room. The kitchen was a head teacher's office. The pantry was a small room that you keep the books. The other room, my brother's rooms, were all turned into classrooms. And we had the 2 rooms outside. They were standard 1 and 2. And he said, this is what this girl does. So what CNN did is they came to see. They did their investigations, the trusted name in news. They have to do all the investigations, checked with the Minister of Education, checked with everything to make sure that this is what is happening. And then they found that, yes, this is what is happening. So in 2007, they nominated me as a top 10 CNN hero of 2008. And so with all those struggles and everything that was happening all these years before, it was like manna fell from heaven. Money started coming in from around the world. People just sending, sometimes you get $50, $20. Children in school doing bake sales and putting their monies together and sending it to me over here. Sending to me for Jacaranda. And I saved that money, put that money aside, started now building Jacaranda. I was still working as a nanny until 2010.
Why did you stay working as a nanny? Was there no point where you're like, okay, I think this is enough. I'm doing too much now at this point. Did you ever have moments where you're like feeling overwhelmed because you're balancing these 2 aspects of your life?
Yes. When I got the CNN Heroes Award, to me, that was just a big surprise for me. Okay. It's like, what is going on? Money is coming in. I couldn't leave my job because I was not I wasn't so sure. Is this money going to continue?
Yeah.
Or is this money going to stop? Or, it was just the beginning for me. So I continued to work. Yeah. And then see what that money can do. And so I put that money, started planning. The first thing we need to do is, Luke, let's build toilets with running water because we had only 4 pit latrines. A lot of children were sick for hygiene. So I started looking at what is the priorities that we need to do. So just bringing this money together slowly, and deciding we needed to build a secondary school because primary and secondary was still in my house. And now the children were 280. We need a secondary school. So we then started building the secondary school on the same property because this property is my mother left this property. It was our property. Okay. So we built the secondary school. We built the toilet with running water. We built the clinic because many of the children are HIV. We need to make sure that these children are getting their medication. We need to bring a nurse in so that they can, these kids are okay. And in fact, we lost one of the child before we built the clinic. She was the inspiration for me to build the clinic, Upile, because she passed away because her grandmother did not have money to take her to the hospital or to be tested. So when she passed away and I knew her and I decided let's build a small little clinic, and we brought a retired nurse from Queens, Mine Mbele, who sadly passed away a couple of years ago. And then so we had the clinic, we had the secondary school. We started developing now. And then bringing in the qualified teachers. Okay. Because now we need the teachers so that our kids can graduate. Kids never graduated. Never from Jacaranda, yes. Until 2 years after I got my CNN Heroes. Kids took their MSCE. No, the following year took their MSCE. 14, 7 passed.
Wow.
And we were able to send those first 7 to college.
Okay.
And then it just started growing from there, and from there. And yes, it was a journey. It was a journey, and but a positive one. I just, and I continue to work in 2010. That's when now the school is growing. I'm like, I need to go home. It's my time to go home now. This nanny salary, I'll leave it aside, and I will now look at all these donations that are coming in, how we can utilize them, how we can put them in place. And that's when I quit my job. Okay. And I came back in 2010, and I've been here since then, just taking care of the...
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So many of the children that have passed through your home call your home their home. What has that journey been like for you? Like, especially the journey of motherhood for you? Because I believe all of your children call themselves, they call you mom. I know a lot call you mom. Others call you
Auntie
Auntie Marie. But you talk of them as your babies.
Yeah. Yes. They are... The way and it's from the beginning, the way I look at children. I don't have biological children of my own.
Okay.
No. I have 524. That's enough. Enough.
Yeah.
But from the beginning, and maybe it is because I was this nanny, and my smallest child that I took care of was born. The mother had a home birth, so she had the child in the bathtub in New York City. When Owen was born, I was in the playground with his older brother, and she called and said, "He's here." So I ran, and I held this baby in my hands.
Wow.
And I took care of him for 10 years.
You raised
So
that
I
child.
became like his mother. Actually, I was in New York just 2 weeks ago, and he graduated from college, and I was at his graduation.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So I looked after many other children, not only Owen, many other children when I was a nanny for 19 years. And that work for me with the children and seeing these children, what their needs are, and they came from wealthy families. Like Owen is from a celebrity family. His mother is, I can name her, Ricky Lake,
Wow.
the talk show host.
Okay.
So, rich families. But what did those children actually need? And my time with them in the 19 years, I saw that these children needed, they wanted their kids to have an education. But you cannot be educated if you are sick and you don't have food and you come from a family where you don't have those necessities that you can give to your child. So I saw that, and I knew that back home, this is what is needed too.
Yeah.
Every child is the same. So when I came back and saw the kids here, I took them like my own. I still do until today. These children that I've raised from these 24 years of Jacaranda, they need food and to be healthy in order to have an education. How can you just say, okay, I have a school and I'm going to provide education for the kids. The kids come to school and they go, and they're orphans and they're at home. They have no parents. They're living with their grandparents. I have to look at them like I looked at those children in America.
Yeah.
What are their basic needs in order for them to be successful and have this education, graduate, go to college, and have a life? So I've taken these children as my own children, as my own babies, and until today, like last night, Olivia was coming from Zimbabwe. It's like, "Kodi abuela, Afika." What is the time now? Driver, when she gets off, I got a message from her. Mama, she calls me Mama, I'm back. Okay, nikagone.
Mwana wafika.
Wafika. Because I've been hearing about all these accidents in those
Of
schools.
course.
We couldn't fly her down, so she came on the bus. She went there on her own. We couldn't go. She comes on a bus. You worry on a bus traveling at night? And I've heard of all these accidents. I couldn't sleep. So, yes, motherhood for me is I look at the children and I think of their future. Like a mother, any mother would do. What is their future? What do they need in order to accomplish, to come to get that future, like a mother would want for her child. So I've tried to do that. I don't know whether I've done it well, but I've tried to do that, and I'm comfortable. I love it, and I'm full. I'm happy.
You do seem really happy, honestly. You seem really fulfilled and happy, and it's such a wholesome feeling to have and to see in you. Now, is there any child story that sticks with you? Because you've mentioned Olivia, you mentioned unfortunately Upila who passed on, but is there a story that really sticks with you all this time and reminds you that, okay, this is why I started Jacaranda. This is the story.
Yeah, oh my goodness, there's so many stories. People have said to me, why don't you just collect all these stories, beautiful stories, put them together and just, bring a book or something. There's so many stories. When I think of children's stories, I just think of the success stories, from where they're coming, from what has changed in their lives, because maybe I've been there to take this journey with them, a positive journey for them. We have stories. We have stories of the boy that went to meet the queen. He was a street boy, and then he comes, he's on the line, because for registration, sometimes we're going to have like 100 and something people trying to register into Jacaranda.
Wow.
On the outside, waiting to register. And he was on the line, and luckily that year I was there, John, and he comes, he says, on his own. I'm like, you came alone. Where's your guardian? I don't have a guardian. My parents died. I'm like, you must have somebody. No, I live alone. You live alone? Yeah, in my house. What are you? Where you get your food? On the street. So he's a little street boy. He's 9 years old.
What?
And then I say, Tieni, I'm fumu. Do you live alone? We find out, yes, he does live alone.
A 9-year-old boy?
Living alone. But the parent left him a little car house there. It was near the chief's place. They let him. He's a street boy on the streets. We take him to the school. Cut a long story short. 3 years later, there's a Commonwealth essay competition. And the schools, the public schools, the private schools, they were St. Andrews, are writing for this Commonwealth essay competition. Jacaranda takes part in it, and he wins the junior first prize essay competition.
Wow.
The prize is to go and meet the queen.
Fully funded. Just
to
like
London.
What?
To get his prize, to get his story. He has no parents, so Auntie Marie goes. So, look, and I went, and we were there, and he got his tablet. He took the tablet with his story, gave it to the Queen Elizabeth. We were in London for him. His story was the day I wore my best clothes. He says the day I wore my best clothes was the day that I wore my uniform, because I could not go to school without a uniform. And when I wore my uniform, I looked just like everybody else.
Such a beautiful
And
story.
nobody could tell I was an orphan. Nobody could tell I was HIV. Nobody could tell I was a street kid. Nobody. So that's one story. We have we've got street kid stories who are one who's in Form 3 now. And one of my stories is my girl, Chimwemwe. She's in Livingstonia.
Okay.
Just started her own school herself. She finished Form 4. She didn't go to college in those days. Our scholarships for college were. She finished Form 4. She went. She literally plastered the wall, everything, her little school.
On her own?
On her own. And she got the kids to go for free. I didn't even know until a friend of mine came and said, one day we were in Livingstonia, we saw this girl. She started, I'm like, yes, Chimwemwe, how's she doing? And then I got in touch with her. She said, I built my school.
Oh.
And she shows me. So it made me feel like, oh my goodness. And then later on she told
that
me.
Seed and then,
yes. And then later on she told me, she says, yeah, Auntie Marie, I started building you just like you were my inspiration, you whatever. We went to open the school later. We all went, and because she then fixed up her school, I helped her with some iron sheets and all later on to expand it and all. And we went to open the school and all. So just beautiful stories of students who literally started sitting on the floor, no blackboards, and today they are in qualified employment in Malawi, everywhere. We've got students who are in Kenya in leadership academies, you know, doing all kinds of studying. And so, yeah, just to see that plight of the children from standard 1 going to Form 4, graduating, going to college, and I'm asking advice today from a lawyer. Can you just tell me, do I have, he's my student who graduated from Jacaranda, went to Catholic University, did he...
And is now giving you legal advice.
He's giving me legal advice.
Look at that.
The other day I called him, I said, because I said, John, can you just come and help me with this? He says, no, I'm in the courts right now, but he comes to
Flex.
school in his suit. You know, today I was with what's his name? Christopher. Christopher started when he was in standard 1. And he just graduated from Catholic University in banking and finance. Just last 2 weeks ago, Catholic University had their... And they're graduating. Another one is graduated. At the same time, he's graduating so we're building a clinic right now. We're expanding our clinic.
Yes.
I needed somebody to do my landscaping and horticulture. One of them just graduated in landscaping and horticulture. I'm like, Ujeni, Henderson, Mandiwa, can you come and do the landscaping for me? Yes. So he's doing my landscaping. So, you know, these stories of just seeing them just blossoming and going out into the world. And it's not only academically. We have the arts at Jacaranda. We emphasize in the arts and music and dance. One of them, she's now in Brazil. She started in standard 1 too. She's in Brazil. She's teaching dance and music.
In Brazil.
Malawian dance, music, which she learned at Jacaranda. And then we sent her to Music Crossroads. Music Crossroads, she had a scholarship to go to Brazil. She came back. She had to go back. The school in Brazil really wanted her to teach the Malawian music and dance. She's now scholarship for 5 years, full scholarship. So these stories,
that book has to happen. No matter what, that book has to happen. Wow. And it's not just the success stories. I genuinely wonder, because you've seen children through every walk of life. They've come from different shades of abuse and loss. How do you protect your heart now? Because this is thousands. You've got 524 now, but we're talking of 24 years of doing this.
Yeah.
How do you protect your own heart?
Yeah. Mine? Or maybe how do I protect them?
You. I'm asking about you, because you do so much for them already. I'm asking about Abiti Marie herself.
From me, Auntie Marie, how do I protect myself? I personally feel that, you know, some people don't know their purpose in life. And some people may die without knowing their purpose in life. And some people are having a hard time finding the purpose. I've literally found my purpose in life. And I'm so happy with it. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm a faith-based person. So when I wake up in the morning, it's just like, Ambuye, Kodilero, what is my job today? What are you sending me into? What am I going to be facing? And I need you to be behind me to help me to go through. Or if it is, I'm going to go through some hurdles today, or I'm going to go through fun stuff today, I want you to be behind me. So my prayer is like that. And then I go out. And I just do my job. I do. And I come back at night and I'm like, that's it. What do I have now? Maybe I'll have a glass of wine. Maybe I'll sit and have my dinner, watch TV, So protecting myself is just understanding that this is my purpose in life and this is what I've chosen to do and really enjoying it. I do enjoy what I do and I give my whole self to it. Of course we have disappointments. There's disappointments. But for my disappointments that I have, I then I look at it as lessons in life and a learning experience. And then I try to figure out what is it that this disappointment means. So when I look at it that way, then I'm able to just move on and find solutions. And not my solutions alone, but with people. I have a really good team in Jacaranda.
Okay.
A really good team. And, you know, we talk. I talk to them. I talk to them like my friends too. I don't go there and I'm like, I'm the boss. I go to them like, we are a team. We're a family. Like, this is what I told you. We had this meeting yesterday. We're a team. We're a family. You own Jacaranda, not me. I tell the people that I work with, you own Jacaranda because I'm not going to be here always. One day, I may go. You hear of people just dying like this, or you hear of people, heart attack here. I'll be gone. You are the ones who are going to run Jacaranda. So when we work on this comfortable bit where we are family.
Yeah.
I don't have one family member, biological family member, who works at Jacaranda.
Okay.
No. Everybody that works from Jacaranda are people from here, from Malawi. The lady who is the caretaker, she's been with us for like 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Even the lady who's our guard at our house side, she's a lady. We have a lady, the guard's a lady, unfortunately. Maybe I'm not a feminist or whatever, but many women, I work around with women.
Yeah.
But with this group of men whom, when I have the problems, when I have these hard times and all, they're the ones who will say, we need to take care of this. We need to. Today, I was at school the whole morning taking care of issues, but I wasn't taking care of the issues myself. There was the team. We're sitting, we're discussing, and sometimes it can be so personal when we are discussing, like as if I'm sitting with my sister and I'm sitting with my brother, and we're discussing and what is the solution, how we're going to go through it. So it makes my life more easier.
Okay.
Knowing that I have this team who are one day going to be my succession. I've been working on succession with my team for many years. This one. I have my alumni. Our HR is somebody that went to school, a little boy. He graduated. He's now actually going to start doing his master's and all, but on, part-time. The HR is Danny. Danny, I called him Daniel, but now I have to call him Daniel. But he's my alumni. So he's my child, like my son. And he looks after everything on HR. So for me personally, how do I take care of myself? I've got a great husband, really great husband, Luke. Luke just, you have a partner that understands you, that understands your mission, that loves the mission, and that works hard for the mission. So it becomes easy for me.
Now that you've brought up your husband, now I'm curious. When did the friendship become romantic? Because you mentioned that you were friends, you met back in the 90s, then you met in New York, and then he supported you with the CNN Heroes. So when did the friendship become romantic?
When I got married like 10 years ago, I think it's 10 or 11 years ago. And we've known each other for 20-something years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like those are the best romances, when you've known each other that long.
We've known each other we knew each other, that long. I was married. I was married with my first husband, and we divorced. And that's why I ended up in New York, and I just wanted to find myself, wanted to be alone, didn't want to be near anyone, because it wasn't a very, it was kind of like a painful separation that we had. And then at that point, I'm like, I'm never going to marry again. I'm going to be single, and I'm going to be powerful, whatever, do what I want. And I did that. And when Luke came in, I'd met him in Malawi when he was at the cultural center. When and then when he came to New York, and I had moved and was living in New York then. I was living in Japan with my ex, but then I moved to New York. And we just became friends. And because he had met my whole family and everyone here, met my dad, met my nephews and nieces who passed away, he became like
it was part of the family already.
Yeah, part of the family, a very close family. And then when I returned back to Malawi in 2010, I guess Everyone around is like, you two are an item. We're living together. The amfumu, ay. You don't live together. You have to get married. It is not right to live together. Amfumu, you just leave me alone. Yeah. Because Amfumu knew me when I was growing up. No, this is not right. You don't live together. Get married. Look, you get married. Look's friends. And then, he proposed and and we got married and it was, it's been great. It's just, he's a good man. He's a good man. He loves Malawi. He's French. He's a French consul in Malawi, actually. And his life is Malawi. It's Malawi. He runs a cultural center. He does Sounds of Malawi.
Is that why it was renamed to Jacaranda Cultural Center? Okay, the dots have connected now. Okay.
Yeah, but he's a good man. He's a good man. His libraries, he's got now 37th library.
Yeah, it looks like this weekend. Amazing work.
This weekend, and I have nothing to do with his libraries. He does everything himself, but it's his way and our work together, where outreach is very important for him. He's helped build Jacaranda with me, but outreach is important, so that's when he started the library programs. And on Saturday last week, he donated a library to a reform prison for the young ones in Vumbwe. So he put a library there, and it's our first one for the young prisoners, and he's just so proud. He's just so proud. It's just the things that he thinks of, and us thinking mainly of what is it that we want in our lives. It's really reaching out to people, planting the seed, and making sure that it blossoms and serves the country. And both of us feel that way. That it's not always about money. It's not about money. It is.
And that's beautiful. I think that you both aligned on what you want.
Yeah. It's about investing in others. Investing in others, planting that seed, and we're planting that seed for a better tomorrow. And he sees it that way. I feel that way, and we just do our job and enjoy it.
I love that. That's the goal. Honestly, that is truly the goal. So now, like after over 2 decades of working with vulnerable children, what would you say is the biggest misconception about orphanhood here in Malawi?
The biggest misconception. What is the biggest misconception? Yeah, there's a lot. Is that people should not feel that being an orphan is an imperfection. Because I've challenged that. These children come from the most underprivileged homes. Like I'm telling you, these children, I've been saying, street kids, they come from homes where they're sleeping on dirt, but I do believe that if you take a child and you understand the needs of the child, they need health, they need food, they need to be loved, they need to be listened to, they need education. If you take that child, give that child the tools, that child can be anything. No orphan. Forget about orphan. There's no orphan. There's no orphan. Because if you come to Jacaranda today, we're writing. Is today the last day of JC? Or there's PSLC, JC. We'll be doing MSCE.
Okay.
These children come from the most underprivileged homes. Give them the tools. Put them in that classroom. Make sure they're okay. Make sure that their home is okay too. Because we do take care of the home, eh?
Yes, you do.
We do. With the parents, we give them the microcredit loans. They come and do the entrepreneurship classes. They do skills training. After 6 months, they graduate. We give them a microcredit loan. They start their businesses. They take care of their kids at home. These kids then, they are the ones who are passing PSLCE 95%, Jacaranda, for the past 5 years. JC 100%. MSCE 100% for the past 5 years. Check it out. These orphans are scoring higher than the private schools of kids that go to private schools, who come from the house where there's everything, or with both mother, father. So we should not look at them as they're imperfect. No, they're not. They're just like any other child. They can do anything that any other child can do. We just have to make sure that whatever those other children they are getting in order for them to be, we can provide to. We can provide to this. Because once you do that, forget it.
So Jacaranda is more of an ecosystem then, because you don't just provide free education. Like you said, you're supporting the parents, and then there's the clinic. So it's more like you've got a whole ecosystem of its own. It's like a community that functions, essentially.
Yeah. We have to, for me, it's community.
Okay.
You can't do anything without getting to the community and understanding the community. What are the needs in this community in order to make change or to bring change, especially for the children and for the young ones. You have to work with the community. So for us, in the beginning, it was like, knock, knock. We don't have food. We don't have. Eventually, what I realized is you need to take care of them. Why don't they have food at home? And so it's because they don't have money. So I give them gain. Go, buy, ujeni, do a business. Makala business or whatever. Just go do a business. And they'd come back. Geni jaya sweka. It's gone. We, the money we...
That's a handout.
So let's get you entrepreneurship classes. So we created the vocational school, which is entrepreneurship with skills training.
Okay.
So we put machines for tailoring, we put hairdressing and makeup, then we put carpentry, then we put arts and crafts, basket making. So within 6 months, they're doing entrepreneurship, they're learning how to start a business, how to save, how to invest, how to make a profit. They're learning that in 6 months with the skills training. At the end, graduation. Graduation is beautiful. They wear the caps, they throw the caps. These are agogos, and the aunties and the whatever of these children who are looking after the children. They graduate, they start their business. Today I don't hear knock, knock, knock. I never hear that, or maybe this, no. And they return the money. So every month they have to come back and maybe return 5,000. They'll return it. The next one will go, we put that into the basket. These money will go to the next cohort. Now, just this week, we've got our new 40. I was just talking to the guy today. He said, hey, only 6 signed up for carpentry. I'm like, wait, there more will come back because the women do carpentry in there. Yeah, they do carpentry.
Love it.
So reaching out to them so that at home they're okay. When the child leaves school, he goes home. There's food. If they need whatever the children's needs are, they buy. Because they do buy their own exercise books and all. It's coming from their home. So we have to uplift the community. But at the same time, when you're uplifting the community, you have to think of what are we doing by uplifting the community. These women who are studying and who are starting their businesses, they have experienced what it's like to have an education and to have a career. So they want their children to stay in school so that they can. Because, without that, sometimes women will say, Pitani kumunda, whatever for the children. But now in their minds, they're like, you know what? Look at what this learning for me
has
is
done
doing.
To me, and this is just a little bit.
Imagine and now I'm able to take care of myself, and I don't need to wait for maybe the drunk husband who comes home to beat me up or whatever, but I can take care of my kids and I don't have to. And so they are then ready to keep the kids in school. They want the kids to come to school and to stay in school so that they can have a career of their own too. So really a lot of what we do is maybe we don't realize is community. We need to get deep into the community, the grassroots of the community, work with them. And when we work with the community, they'll be able to take care of the kids.
So
And
do you think maybe a lack of that on a grand scale is why we still see street children on the streets of Malawi? Do you think that's one of the causes? Because there have been interventions. We've
Yes.
seen even the government has put out laws to say, oh no, street begging is banned and whatnot. We've seen the police arresting some who are committing crime. Do you think it's because that, what you've just said, we don't uplift a community, we just try to treat the symptom?
Yes, and the, I mean, people will say handouts for Marie. You are just handing out. No, it isn't. I don't say that. We're working with the community. We are growing our community. As I was saying, it's just not all about money. It isn't. You are planting seeds in people. When we talk about the street kids and all, we have to look at the parents. Now, taking money and just giving to the parent and say, here, go start a business. That's what I used to do. Go start a business. Who's monitoring that woman? What are we talking to that woman? Here's the money. Are you going to return something when you make a little profit? Come and return something so that maybe we can do this or you can do this. And what does she know about business? So why don't we just open up vocational schools for women to go to and do sewing and do so they can learn these skills. And then after that, if you do have the money, give them the money to start that business so that they can, or maybe they can go to a bank and borrow from a bank saying, I have my Tavita, because at our vocational it's Tavita thing. Certified.
Nice.
So I have my Tavita certificate. I want just a loan, a village bank. Please, kudiniambe business, young guy. And you give them, she will know how to do that business. So we have to look at deep into what is going on. Is it mental health with the parents? We have to look and see how we can help on that when it comes to mental health, when it comes to maybe helping them so that they get a little bit of help from the government. We work with our social welfare.
Okay.
Everything is with social welfare.
Okay.
Children's problems, parents' problems. There's been abuse at home. Straight to social welfare. Let's go. This has been this abuse. This parent, social welfare comes in, works with the people in that community, saying, you are not going to be smacking your child or maybe abusing this child this way, or there's a drunk father there. Social welfare comes. So social welfare is fully, and we mustn't complain about social welfare. Oh, there's no social welfare. Social welfare is there too. They're just waiting for us to be calling them to say, please come and help. And no, and they don't expect anything from you. They come, they're paid by the government for their gas, their petrol. They come with their petrol. They come to take care of these cases. Sometimes we just keep quiet.
Kusaziwa, maybe also?
Maybe kusaziwa, but people know they're there. When there's sexual abuse at home and whatever, they know that they have to go to Queens and they can be helped at Queens. Sometimes they are not. They just leave it, they whatever. It is. So, but that comes through education too, eh?
Yeah.
Because these women who are educated, who are whatever, who's starting their business, who are learning this, they are together, they're in groups, they talk. We have a women's group.
And they support each other.
We don't. At Jacaranda, we have a women's group that literally comes in. If we have a student and the student has a problem, like, this student here, she hasn't turned up at home for the 3 nights or whatever, the women group, right? Women group, DNA. So the mothers of these children will get together and go to that house. What's going on? She's staying at that house. They go and bring that girl back to school. We've had cases like that, back in school. She's now doing Form 3. But these cases, community, let the community take charge of these problems. Let them take charge. And they are there. We just have to involve them in a lot of the work as organizations. We have to involve the community, because then it becomes so much easier and people don't realize that.
So whose responsibility is that partnership, between the government, with civil societies, with even development partners? Whose responsibility is it to create those connections? Should we say the onus is on the government in this case?
The government provides it.
Okay.
We just got to go look for it. It's there. Okay. I mean, in our case, I'm talking about me. I don't know about others.
Yes.
In our case, whenever we have these kind of issues and all, we have to look at who do we go to. Who do we go to? We'll have a rape case straight away. one stop called Quincy. They're taking care of it. Straight away, the social welfare comes. If it's coming up from an orphanage, this kid was at an orphanage, straight away in that orphanage, they are checking everything. Maybe we have a child that is being abused at home, badly abused. Straight away, social welfare, social welfare. We'll move the child, happen to a different home or a center or a foster place. We never do anything on our own because help is there. I personally feel help is there. And we have been helped. And it's not that they get anything from us. It's just that we go, we ask for the help, they come in and they help us. The women of the village, Amaya Mfumu, the sister of the Mfumu, we engage them. Everybody is engaged. Our students themselves, the teenage students at our school, they are mentors for the younger students. So when younger students are misbehaving, we'll go to our, we call it the Kufunga. It's a girls' group, the oldest students at secondary. Kufunga, they have a problem with the standard 6 girl or a standard 5 girl. And it's wonders. One of our standard 6 girl was just going out at night all the time, and her mother came, she's not coming home. We didn't solve it. We got the girls, and we got 1 or 2 older women, the teacher, sat with her, talked to her. They found solutions.
So involve the community in the problem. I like that. And I think that would actually create proper lasting change.
A lot.
It's a bottom-up approach instead of a top-down.
Exactly. Exactly. And involve your own alumni and your own students. Give them those leadership. Get them to be little leaders. I believe in that because today, when you look at our students, the older ones, they're little leaders. I can go to them and just tell them certain things that are happening in the school and they take charge. Certain things that are happening in the village. She's sick, she's whatever. Okay, this weekend we're going to clean up her clothes, do everything, blah, blah, blah. So these kids go. So that's leadership too, bringing the leadership through these kids at this young age, taking responsibility, and then hopefully they will grow up to be responsible for their communities too. And that's what I'm seeing from most of our students who have now grown and gone up. They're coming together. You know, there's this new group called the Young Women's, Africa Women's Council. Association. One of our students has just now become the president of this. Yeah. And these girls are young girls are solving problems here in Malawi, going out into communities and all. We need that. We need that to be instilled at our youth at a young age, and they grow with it. When they grow with it, you'll see, those seeds are beautiful
actually
flowers.
Blossoming, yes.
Yeah,
like
beautiful
your lovely
flowers.
daughter in Livingston, there doing her own thing.
Yeah.
So when many people know Marie da Silva as Jacaranda Foundation, but let's say decades from now, when history is looking back at you, what story do you hope is going to be under your name?
Under my name.
Your legacy.
My legacy. I really it's just that I would love that when, that the youth, the young ones, just grow up to be the ones who are going to make a difference and make a change in the lives of others. I really am lost for words for that because let me say that, I don't see myself as...
You're not doing it for you.
Yeah, it's just...
So maybe let me rephrase the question. What would you want to tell a young person who's watching this now? Maybe is an aspiring policymaker or is trying to figure their way, trying to find their purpose. What would you tell them?
The best way to find yourself, to a young person, I say that the best way to find yourself is to maybe lose yourself in the service of others, to
Beautiful.
just go to servicing others or lose yourself in. The young people, yeah.
That's a very beautiful statement. Lose yourself in the service of others.
Yes, lose yourself in
That
the
is
service
beautiful.
of others. And for young people, they have dreams, eh? And then the dreams come true, you know? They can come true if they can come true if they have the courage and the strength to pursue those dreams. They must have the courage and the strength to pursue those dreams. And they should not allow, actually, they should accept disappointment. And like I said it before, I said they should accept disappointment, but never lose hope.
Beautiful.
I think that's for the young ones, that their dreams can come true. Just go for it with your strength and yeah, work at it.
Wow.
Yes, but as for a legacy for me, it's just that I just really want these young ones and the ones that have gone through the system with me to really to go out there and be good citizens. Think of their communities, think of their neighbors, think of our country, Malawi. Think of this country. It's so rich, it's so beautiful, it's so kind. We have everything.
Yeah.
We have everything. And you young ones just go out there and plant those seeds, and watch them grow and water them, and yeah, they should be good people.
Wow.
Good people.
What a way to end the conversation. Auntie Marie, thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
and sharing your amazing story with us.
Thank you.
And I know for a fact this is going to be an inspiration for many, as it has been for me. I teared up at some point. Ooh, I wanted to kind of be like, pause, I'm crying here. But it's truly been an honor having this conversation with you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. What a story. What an episode. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast and share with us your takeaways from this episode. See you on the next edition of the Face to Face podcast.